Watching my series of talks on planet Earth, and this segment is number 27. My subject of discussion today is Artesian Well. When researching a borehole for your property or business, you might have come across the term Artesian Well. But what does it actually mean and how is it different? Firstly, artesian groundwater is the same as any other type of groundwater. The only difference is how it gets to the surface. An artesian well is simply a well that doesn't require a pump to bring water to the surface. This occurs when there is enough pressure in the aquifer. The pressure forces the water to the surface without any sort of assistance. When an artesian well is drilled, the pressure is relieved and the water is able to find a path to open air. In many cases, the pressure is high enough to bring the water all the way to the surface, and that's known as the flowing artesian well. Natural springs also form in this exact same way when a gap is formed in the impermeable rock, example, by an earthquake, and releases the pressure, allowing the water to flow up. In some cases, if the pressure is high, it will form a fountain called a geyser. An aquifer is a geologic layer of porous and permeable material such as sand and gravel, limestone or sandstone, through which water flows and is stored. An artesian aquifer is confined between impermeable rocks or clay, which causes this positive pressure. Not all the aquifers are artesian, that is, water table aquifers occur where the groundwater level at the top of the aquifer is at equilibrium with atmospheric pressure. The recharging of aquifers happens when the water table at its recharge zone is at a higher elevation than the head of the well. Fossil water aquifers can also be artesian if they are under sufficient pressure from the surrounding rocks. This is similar to how many newly tapped oil wells are pressurized. The first artesian well on record was drilled in 1126 AD by a group of monks in the French province of Artois, hence the name Artesian Well. Back then, they didn't have the luxury of a fully operational drilling rig like we use today, and the aquifer was reached by brute force and a sharpened known as a bore. The percussive drilling technique they used eventually broke through the rock and the water rose to the surface. Because it had seeped through many layers of porous rock in the aquifer, many of the contaminants had been filtered out, providing a much safer and cleaner form of drinking water when compared with surface or river water. I got a wonderful animation video on Artesian Well, and I'm going to run it right now.
Artesian wells are found where groundwater is trapped between two impermeable layers of rock and the upper layer is risen above the Earth's surface. Shifts in the rock layers force the water out. Water from such wells can also be gained by drilling.